Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shivam. I'm the founder and CEO of AlmaBetter. Welcome to today's Ask Me Anything session. So, this is an integral part of the Learn, Earn, Return program that we offer here at AlmaBetter. So, every week, a distinguished member from the data science community connects with our students to enlighten them about the real world requirements of the industry. These sessions are very insightful for our students who are enthusiastic about entering the data science field. So, with that being said, let's welcome our guest for today, Ms. Shalini Sharma. Shalini did her BTech in chemical engineering from MNIT Jaipur, and then she started her journey in the core domain at Reliance in 2016. She then shifted to ZS to explore the pharma industry. She then joined data science as a data science consultant. So, DataZymes is a consulting firm that provides analytical solutions to pharmaceutical companies. So, they are also one of our hiring partners. So, she recently moved to Myntra as a strategy and planning manager. So, she has been associated with us since the days of Floatant, and today she will share her experiences, mostly from the pharma industry. Hi, Shalini. Thank you for taking the time out for this session. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thanks, Shivam. I'm very glad that I'm being part of this wonderful session. So yeah.
Before we begin, Shalini, could you please share a bit about how difficult or easy has it been to switch between industries? So from refining to pharma and now to fashion.
Yeah. Definitely, it has been lovely, amazing journey with all the ups and downs, but not the easy one. Especially switching from a core field to into analytics field, it sometimes gets difficult, right? And if we talk about coming from a good academic background, it doesn't always guarantee you a satisfied career path where you will just love your work. Sometimes you just have to work towards it, right? And the reasons for that thing can be lack of awareness in your college days or maybe initial career path, right? So the same sort of happened to me when I landed on a core job into Reliance from college. And at the time when I entered there, the typical trend was either you're happy about your job or you're trying to get into MBA college, because at that time only this seemed an easy way to get into different career direction altogether. So about completion of 1 year, I came across a few friends in Reliance only who were very enthusiastic about data science, ML, AI. They used to read about things, about few skill sets, statistics, and thankfully at that time my profile was also a bit around plant data, simulating it through building models and all those sort of. So I was a little bit interested into data, but I didn't know where to start from. So I took inspiration from these people, and that inspiration matters a lot, right? To make yourself believe that why cannot you do it? If this is the interest and there is ability to fight your resistance at the core, anything can be achieved, right? So I started reading and discussing case studies with these guys, building aptitude on my own, brainstorming the puzzles, and then through various forms of interviews, I realized that in this industry, all that matters is how deeply and systematically you can think about a problem, a real life problem, be it any domain, and how good you can lay out a few possible solutions around that, right? Few hypotheses around building those. Then using a few statistical tools and algorithms is different game altogether. So at that time, ZS gave me that break that I needed to start my journey. And then after, it was more or less making most of the opportunities in the office, keeping myself updated, reading relevant things, being more confident about what I do, and being more informed at what I do. Thinking through the good reasons while you switch through the companies or you express your interest in other firms. Uh, think through the good reason that will justify your interest, right? And how you can benefit those companies with your knowledge, with your experience. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Right. That was an amazing journey, and I guess it's motivating, right? So a lot of students, kind of think that okay, if I get stuck in one industry, I'll remain there for a lot of time and so on. But I think you proved it otherwise. So students can learn from that. So the pharma industry, in particular, has benefited a lot with the incorporation of data science
Mhm,
techniques in its
mhm,
operations. So we'll all can agree that in terms of cost, speed, efficiency, data science holds the potential to transform the entire pharmaceutical industry. So can you throw some light on some of the aspects in which pharma industry is different from the other industries?
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is very different than typical e-commerce that we experience. So pharma industry, typically US pharma domain, is very much different than ours, because in here there are multiple stakeholders that play their part, where the transaction of, like, be it money or decision, it is not just one dimensional flow. So here, let's say you're a healthcare professional, they make decision to, prescribe your drug to the consumer. So the consumer is not the direct, decision maker.
Correct.
On top of it, if we talk about money, the money flow, their payer will pay for the drug, not the consumer. So if you think about it, it's a very multi-dimensional model where they work. So plus in this industry, as soon as your drug goes off the patent, it's no longer a milking cow for the company. So they have spent millions in the development of the drug, then R&D, then few clinical trials, few real world evidences. After getting so much spent in the money, they just want to make most of this timeline. And after getting approved, they are provided with just 15 to 20 years of exclusivity of the drug, right?
Right.
So that's where we come into the picture. And the pharma companies, the stakeholders, they just want to make sure that in this time frame they make most money that they can, right? So if you talk about product life cycle, which initially starts it when it is in a growing phase before getting matured and then going generic, that's where your analytics plays a very important role, right?
Right. Yes. So yeah, I guess that's correct. So multiple stakeholders in itself, brings a lot of complexity into the analytics itself, right? So
Mhm.
Shalini, can you tell us a bit about how the pharma industry has leveraged data science to fuel their growth?
Yeah. So as we talked about that growth phase, so marketing of the drug, like effective marketing of the drug, is very important.
Right.
And having spent millions of dollars every year, they would want to see how each of the marketing channels is performing, and what is the short term, long term ROI associated with those channels, how they can optimize it more fruitfully. If at all they are trying out new things, how can they assess their effectiveness using test and control? Sometimes effectiveness of the content wave or presentation prop that they are using, while sales rep is giving a detail to healthcare professionals. If
Mhm.
you are spending good amount, good chunk over patient support programs, then obviously you would want to see that whatever money that I'm spending, is it fruitful in, let's say, in the adherence curve of those patients to our brand. So
Right.
how positively it is, sometimes if you provide support to patients, then sometimes it kind of drives the writing behavior of the HCPs as well. So few writing behavior analytics you can do. Sometimes you use few clustering algorithms to segmentize those HCPs to
Mhm.
understand their behavior, and then targeting them differently, because you would not want to waste your money treating each and every one of them equally, right?
Correct.
Sometimes you do understand patient level journey, you create funnels, you understand the leakage, why they are dropping off, and then coming up with some solution that these kind of droppage can be mitigated.
Right.
Sometimes you come up with next best action, where it's like you are providing the same sort of promotion as
Mhm.
an equal amount, the existing level of investment only, but just because you change those sequence of those channels, it is turning out to be better for your writing. So you would want to build a model around that. So all these are just example of how our clients, which are pharma companies, come up with a problem statement which is very real life, and then we use mathematical skills to provide them statistically confident solutions.
Correct. Yes. That's pretty awesome. I guess in the growth phase it matters a lot as to you have to make the most out of the drug in that phase itself. So you have to target your SCPs, all the stakeholders, in fact, in a data oriented manner, and that's where probably data science solutions come into picture, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. So let's move on to some of the the tips and tricks that our students can use to grow in their career, right? So at AlmaBetter, we believe that during a student's learning journey, mentorship is of paramount importance. So this is why we organize one-on-one mentorship sessions for our students, whoever is part of our placement prep program. So they go through a lot of mentorship sessions, in their entire curriculum. So according to you, to what extent is this helpful in that
Mhm.
sense, that how mentorship helps young aspirants who are keen on entering the data science field? So you
Sure.
have also, probably have interacted with a lot of mentors during your journey.
Yes. So actually, my belief is sometimes we know plain straight answers to the questions, right? Because we can read it somewhere, we can watch few videos, we can, join few forums. So
Mhm.
sometimes a little bit guidance which our mentor can provide can help us, sort and categorize those knowledge into buckets, so
Mhm.
that whenever needed, we can, turn back to them, and then we would know that what the interviewee is expecting from us
Correct.
in any sort of interview, and how organically we present that without being messy. It's very important, because let's be real, we might not we might have so much of the knowledge, but
Mhm.
sometimes having it very messy and giving something, irrelevant answer can, do wrong on our part, right? And if you know practical aspects of any problem or wherever you are applying,
Mhm.
it helps you to, be confident around those interview sessions, because I have seen few cases where
Mhm.
your proper Q&A sort of interview went from that interview to discussing a problem event, right?
Correct.
So that kind of gives interviewee a sense that you are a struggler, you want to, discuss things. You are
Mhm.
just not someone who has just, read things somewhere and you are just blurting it out, right?
Right. Mhm.
Last but not the least, a little bit support system always helps. Why? Because you will sometimes fail in your interviews,
Mhm.
and what you take from that failure is very important. So
Right.
in that sense, let's say your interview was just for 1 hour.
Mhm.
Now you failed, and you were very disheartened that okay, I did not get through.
Mhm.
Sometimes if you get feedback that okay, not only on knowledge aspect, I would take feedback, let's say on my delivery, on my structuring the problem, on my communication,
Mhm.
how confident I was. So
Correct.
sometimes you would need someone to discuss these things, so that
Mhm.
you will come up with a, better approach next time. So
Right.
in these aspects, these kind of things help. A little bit mentorship helps.
Yes, definitely. And that's the reason why probably, we expose our students to a lot of people from the industry, and they connect one on one, and they get to know about their strengths and weaknesses. And that is how we think, especially in the field of data science, right? This is very important. So I guess, yeah, our students are currently, little bit busy in projects and placement preparations. So I'll
Mhm.
try to keep this short, guys. Don't worry. So my next question would be, most of the students who are attending this session, right, are looking to break into the data science industry. So do you have any piece of advice that will help them when they venture into the data science world?
Sure. So I guess being dedicated, being consistent, keeping your goals in mind. So all these things is something everyone, tells you. I would just give you one piece of advice. Whenever you get opportunity, just never let it go in wait of any big to come your way. Because I've learned this thing. If I stop and I see that no, I just want to go into Google Analytics, nahi, mujhe to mere bahut bade ख्वाब hai, then
Hmm.
you will just, sit around and things get built up. Tum achanak se you will not get a big break in your life, right? So, and this industry is something you try, right? You learn, you like. If you do not like, you'll, you will just move on, right? So
Right.
I guess just keep working towards it and just don't lose hope. That is the only piece of advice I would want to give.
Thanks, Ali. So I guess today we'll not be taking any questions. Uh, Students have other commitments, so we'll try to wrap this up now. So with this, we have reached the end of today's session. So thank you so much, Shalini, for attending and, giving so much insights regarding the pharma industry and your personal journey. And your answers, I hope, were extremely beneficial for our attendees. I'm sure this session has helped a lot of students gain valuable insights before they venture themselves into the data science field, right? So again, it was lovely to have you here today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks a lot, Shivam, for giving me this opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you, Shalini. Thank you.